Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the No Bones podcast and the latest in our Meet the Fighter series, as we are here with former UFC star, KSW world champion, and currently making his way through the ranks in Oktagon, Mr. Scott Askham. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, cheers for welcome.
So you are currently going through a camp for your next fight, is that right?
Yeah.
Yep, fighting next month, 21st of September in Oktagon. In Brno, that's how you say it, right? I did have to Google that earlier to make sure I get it right. It's a funny word, isn't it?
I'll take your word for
Bruno,
it.
Brno, Brno, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Czech Republic, that's what I said.
There's not enough vowels in there either way, is there?
That's it.
In Brno, in Czech Republic, next month. So how's it all going? How are you feeling? Feeling good?
Yeah, it's going really well, mate, to be honest with you, yeah. It's the first time I've done a camp here at UK since 2017, so a long time.
That's right, you're part of American Top Team, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So my visa run out, so I was scheduled to fight February, and then my visa run out in March, so I thought that was a good time to sort it out, but it's just been a pain in the ass, mate, to be honest with you. They had an appointment for me, but it was the day I got back off holiday, so I couldn't go to that. I don't know why they just changed it earlier, but then they said they were trying to get cancellations. But anyway, it's been September before I can even get that appointment, so... Yeah, it's just been a pain in the ass, but I feel like I've got it pretty sorted now here in UK. Yeah.
Big differences from here? Is it normally Florida? Did you say?
Yeah, Florida. Yeah. So the biggest difference is I walk downstairs and I'm in gym, right, and I walk back upstairs and I'm where I sleep. You know what I mean? I eat and everything. So
that's in Florida, right?
Yeah, that's in Florida. Yeah. So it is a bit of a problem. It's a pain in the ass sometimes traveling. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like. You haven't only got heavy spars to deal with. You then got to drive home and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it can't be good if you get buzzed as well.
Yeah, then eating and everything. Do you know what I mean? Like,
does it feel more like a job and more like work when you're at home and you're going home after each session and stuff, rather than if you're out there out in a camp somewhere like in Florida, you got your full focus on that?
A little bit, yeah. Luckily, I've got a good wife and she does look after me and looks after the kids and that. To be fair, like, yeah, so. School holidays have come at a good time as well, do you know what I mean? So, like, obviously kids haven't been getting up early or out like that. So by the time I'm up, I'm probably up before kids most of the time. So it's all come at a good time as well, do you know what I mean? So it's worked out all right. I'm not complaining.
What's happening with your camp now then? Which gyms are you predominantly staying local or you?
So I train in Doncaster, Grimsby, Dewsbury, Manchester and Bolton.
All in one day.
So closest place that I trade is
you only miss Florida, right?
Closest place I trade is 30 minutes away, which is Doncaster. That's the closest one. And then Dewsbury's 40 minutes. That's another closest one. But then Grimsby, Bolton, Manchester, all an hour plus. Yeah. So yeah, bit of a trek. But yeah, I do love it. Like.
Good, but you're feeling good?
Feeling good.
Oktagon 61 it is, like we said, it's in Brno, in Czech Republic. You're fighting Mahmoud Muradov, also an ex-UFC fighter. He had, 10 fights, we saw he had in UFC. Right. Do you know much about him? Are you looking forward to getting it?
6 fights in UFC.
You have 6 fights in
4
UFC.
and 2.
That's what I said, but he corrected me to 10.
Yeah.
I took it.
He might have had 10 cancelled fights in UFC because looking at his topology, he has a lot of cancelled bouts.
One of them guys.
Whether that's the thing is with topology, it doesn't tell you who's pulled out. So I don't want to go saying he's a pull out merchant because it might be the other guy that pulled out against him.
But there's a common denominator.
But yeah, there's he's got 12 cancelled fights on his topology. So
Jesus Christ.
3 or 4 of them were during COVID, so that's you can get a little bit of that could be
leeway.
Does it get reasons? Is it a weight thing or?
No, it don't. It just says cancelled bout. It don't tell you a thing. That's what I'm saying. It should tell you who pulled out.
Yeah, it should do.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting. You've spent most of your career, pretty much all your career at middleweight, fighting at middleweight.
Yeah.
You've gone into Oktagon now at light heavyweight. What's reasons for that? And do you feel good with it?
Yeah. No. So that was just a little bit of misunderstanding between me and my manager. So I took the fight on short notice. He says, "Will you fight on Manchester?" So I said, "Yeah," to fighting on Manchester. I says, "But at light heavyweight, meaning like, cause it's short notice, another middleweight that's willing to take the fight on short notice at light heavyweight because just so I didn't have to cut weight. I probably could have made middleweight, to be honest with you, but it was just been a bit of graft, you know what I mean? anyway, he comes back to me, my opponent is like a legit light heavyweight, you know what I mean? But stylistically, I thought it was a good matchup for me in a fight I could win.
That was the German guy you took on
yeah,
last
the
time.
German Mark Deceased, yeah. So I made a tougher fight than it should have been, I think. Again, because of the weight,
It was a grueling fight.
yeah.
I've watched it today as well.
Yeah, a big strong kid.
You pushed him back most of it though, didn't you?
Yeah. I didn't feel. The thing is, I didn't feel of a strength by him, but it just took a lot more energy to do the things I needed to do. You know what I mean? On a position, I feel like what were different to a middleweight compared to light heavyweight. I got him in a clinch, and I feel I would have brought the person's middleweight's posture then and brung the neck down for a knee, but he was just so strong, like it just went boom, up strong, straight, stiff back, and pushed me back onto the cage. That's the only difference I would have said I felt in the fight.
You like them knees, I know.
What-
Some success with them.
What about the gas tank?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It drained the gas tank. Big
Second
time.
round he put him with that big
Yeah,
knee.
big knee. Yeah. I hit him with that big knee, and then I hit him with a punch on floor. And honestly, I swear down, I've never been that tired in my career. And I finished. I hit him with a knee and a punch, and I just didn't have it in me to hit him even more. Do you know what I mean? Like I took a deep breath and I thought, "Fucking hell, man."
To be fair, it didn't look that bad. You looked all right to me. You looked a bit tired, but
Yeah.
not like
You can tell towards the
exhausted.
end at third round, right? But that's your style, though, isn't it? You do pressure, don't you? A lot of pressure on them, try and take away their armory and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Put pressure them down, keep tired, walking them down, that sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like walking him down.
I think you're actually ranked though in light heavyweight division in Oktagon, aren't you?
Yeah,
What was it?
no. So
You don't seem happy about it, bro, to be honest.
it's just advertising things, isn't it? That's all it is. Like, because I fought light heavyweight, I'm 64th ranked light heavyweight in world or whatever. It's all bollocks. You know
After
what I
one
mean?
fight,
Like, yeah, like.
And what is Muradov? Is he a legit light of it?
No, he's
a middle, yeah. He's a middleweight, yeah.
He's a middle,
I'm going
yeah.
back to middle, yeah. So, and they put him as like 57 ranked in world. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest with you, I did used to look at him all the time and like be super concerned about him and that, but it's just opinions as well, isn't it? You know what I mean? Fight Matrix, what they use. I don't know. That's not opinions. It's actually like, so like if you actually finish somebody like that goes down, and like the organisations where it is on card, all things like that play a factor on it. I'm not totally sure how it works, but yeah. They hadn't announced what I am in middleweight for whatever reason. I'm not that high no more. You know what I mean? Probably because I've had a long time out injured. You know what I mean?
Probably if you win next, then you might be able to challenge you for the title, maybe. You might be fast track, might you?
100%. I'll be challenging for a title.
Yeah.
One
Well, the people saying that it's a bit of a title eliminator, this one. Have you been told anything like that? Or
So you've got Karim, who I was supposed to fight in February, who pulled out, being injured since. He's fighting for the world title. It's like, so I'm fighting. Now I'm fighting Muradov, who's 2-0 in Octagon, 2 finishers, just come out of UFC. I was meant to fight Karim. I'm 100% in that picture, and I know full I am. I'm the matching me with the best guys in the division. Do you know what I mean? I've trained with Patrick as well, the champion. I've got a lot of respect for him. I do like him, but yeah.
Don't know what sort of talent they've got on their hands.
Yeah,
so
for
they're
sure,
putting you
yeah.
into
Yeah,
the category where you should be.
How
so.
is Oktagon as organization itself? Because we've worked with them, and then we had a few fighters from them, and they seem to be a good organization, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
The promotions,
yeah.
we were
Are
really
they
we were surprised.
very
you know.
different from KSW, or
I've only fought in England so far, so I don't want to say. Do you know what I mean? And
which was very different, yeah.
Because what I'm seeing at Octagon is amazing. Do you know what I mean? They haven't had the same success in UK.
No, they've tried
which I don't
twice
blame for
and-
that. I don't blame them for that. I think
Leon, we actually put that to owners, to Pavel, and to them when we were covering Birmingham event. We said what's it been like, and they said they were disappointed at growth in this country in particular.
Yeah.
But you see them in Germany and stuff like that. They're selling out stadiums out of 30,000 tickets and stuff like that, which is great for an organisation like that in
100%,
Europe.
yeah.
And I think it's the timings and stuff being in Europe for European fans that don't have to get up at stupid o'clock that helps. But I'm a bit surprised that it hasn't took off so much in England, because there's some good fighters that are fighting in it now, isn't there?
yeah. I think the UK market's tough, man. It's a weird market.
That's exactly what they said.
UFC people are willing. Well, we are willing to get, sit till 6 a.m. and watch all fights, nodding off.
Predominantly
Still watch
boxing
it.
fans as well, aren't we, in this country as well?
This is how I see it. They're not MMA fans in the UK. They're UFC fans.
Yeah.
Good point.
That's
Good
what
point.
it is. Like,
They're just attracted to
people
big
will stay
stars.
up for the big fights, but they'll miss all the main card. You know what I mean? They'll watch
Yeah.
2 fights. Like, they don't want to watch certain guys. I don't know. It's just I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm not saying every person, because obviously we have got some amazing fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in general, I think the market's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. But we were talking to Shamrock before, and he'd fought a couple of times in England, and then he were going out to that one in Germany last time where he fought Pavel. Well, I can't remember his name. A guy who we beat anyway. And he was Picorni, that's the guy we were talking about. Picorni, yeah. And he was talking about the size difference and stuff from UK to other, into particularly Germany and Czech Republic. Like, so it would be something to looking forward to. But
100%. Like,
They're selling football stadiums, aren't they? Like in
Yeah,
KSW,
filling
yeah.
football
Yeah.
stadiums.
Filling,
look, KSW are like that as well, right?
You mentioned as well you prefer to fight
100%.
abroad, don't
I'm
you?
more excited for this one than like.
It's a first for me. I've never heard that before.
There's a different
No,
feel about it.
It's just honestly going into enemy territory, right? You've got Poland was a great experience for me. It really was, because they like have an opening ceremony and all that, and I expected. So they introduced each fighter personally. Do you know what I mean? And like everyone getting a cheer. And it was coming to me, and I was fighting like a big star in Poland, Matela. And I expect him to boo me, because obviously that's like English culture. Again, I don't agree with it, but that's just
like
English
football
culture.
fan.
Yeah, it's like and they all clapped. You know what I mean? And straight away I thought this is mint. And then they announced Matela next, and the arena just erupts. You know what I mean? Like, bearing in mind, like I'm from here to like 2 meters away from my opponent. You know what I mean? Like, literally, like I'm looking out into arena, and he's there like 2 meters away from us, like looking out into arena as well. And honestly, the adrenaline I got right then for that moment, you know what I mean? I thought, you won't be cheering when we fight. You know what I mean? Like,
Take it in now.
Yeah.
So you used it as fuel then?
Yeah. So that was back in 2018, and obviously I've had a great time in Poland since then. So to come back home to Manchester, it was a little bit of a letdown. Do you know what I mean? I don't mean that disrespectful, but it just was like the atmospheres I've been seeing compared to what it was in Manchester. It was a little bit of a letdown, and I can imagine that's what Pavel and Andre feel as well. Do you know what I mean? Because Oktagon are putting on these amazing shows, and that's why I can't wait to get out to the Czech Republic.
To be honest, I can I sympathize with everything you say, because that's what really happened. We were there, and the amount of empty seats were there. The fans that were there, they were great. It's just it was not enough of them. Simple as that.
Fights that were on promotion,
Fights that were on promotion,
everything
was
top-notch.
great.
100%
It was
promotion.
amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
And from our point of view as well, so we had access to owners to Pavel and Andre, and they were all very forthcoming with us and everything. Yeah, they just want to sell that organisation, that product. They're passionate about it, aren't they? And I wish them all the best, like, to be honest.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
While you're over there was one guy that we did meet, Andrei Kalashnik. He's a character. I don't know if you know about him. He's a lightweight fighter from Czech Republic.
Okay.
Watch out in your press conferences.
probably
He's
meet
a
him.
funny
He's
guy.
funny. Oh,
He's
man.
funny.
Yeah.
He's funny as hell.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. AK-47.
He's a
the
superstar in Oktagon, isn't he? Just because of the wit he has, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat Etabar, didn't he?
Yeah, beat Etabar like in Birmingham. But yeah, he's a funny guy. So yeah, if you
But yeah, I've heard all nothing but good stuff about this Brno. There's been a show. They've had shows there before, and apparently, like the VIP section, everything is meant to be
It's
meant
one of the
mega.
biggest cities, isn't it? In Czech.
Is that
I
what
think
it
it's
is,
second
is it?
or third
Ah,
biggest
okay.
city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you best of luck in that. So if you don't, we'll leave Oktagon there for now for a little bit. We'd like to wind it back a little bit, and we've already touched on your KSW days, obviously, but if we go back to that there, we know it's a massive organisation in Poland. I mean, Oktagon like to sell themselves as the biggest organisation in Europe, but I think it's probably KSW, I would have thought. Oktagon are coming up on them, I guess.
I bet it's close. isn't it?
I definitely think they're
Gaining.
Knocking on the
gaining
door.
Yeah. They sold a big arena out in Germany earlier on this year. They're going to Germany again before October. and then that one in October is going to be massive. I'm hearing 60,000. So
So they're not on the heels.
they're definitely hot on the heels. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plans out.
It is. Well, so you had 6 fights in there. All started really well. Started with a 3-fight deal. Won all those 3 straight away. Winning the vacant title, middleweight title, in a tournament final, which obviously got you another 3-fight deal. Then became a trilogy with Mohamed Khalidov. So then you beat him the first time. Then there were a couple of L's after that. How did you see that all time in KSW, and what happened towards then? I would say that's a good record for you there. For him to did they not renew at end or something like that? It's for you to get title on your third fight and then defend it once and then to lose 2. It seems a bit harsh.
It's business, isn't it? That's business.
Did it work like that? Sorry, was it a free fight deal, or is it like smaller increments? Is it like 1 or 2, or?
I'm not sure how it all pans out when I sign new deals and stuff. But yeah, when I was fighting Mohamed, I was in a good spot, and I was shocked that they cut me. To be honest with you, after the Mohamed loss, I feel like I'm the best middleweight other than Mohamed in that category. I'm not a moaner or anything as in terms of like. Look, Mohamed got me at a good time, and that's that. Like he could say him, like obviously he's got age, he's 42, but I've got to give him a lot of credit. How he moves for a 42-year-old, I've got to respect that. His movement, his speed for his age, is outstanding. I've been out injured for like 2.5 years. Do you know what I mean? A bad injury. Like
What did you have? What was the injury?
I had L4, L5 fused together.
Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah, so major surgery.
Sorry, when was that?
So that was 18th of August 2022. I thought,
what happened?
So I had degenerative disc in L4, L5, L5, S1. So basically, when I was getting taken down and like my ass were going like that, it's just basically bone on bone because this were all degenerated. So it was like clashing. So I had bruised bone on L4, L5, degenerative disc. So yeah, I finally got surgery, which was a big problem because of COVID, everything like that. And to come back to Mohamed Khalidov, I knew it was a big ask, you know what I mean? But it was also a massive opportunity, or like 50,000 fans, main event.
Well, that the second fight.
That was the third fight. This was the third fight. Yeah. So the second fight again, like it was during COVID. This was October 2020. During COVID, I couldn't get out to America. Listen, fighting's fighting. I don't want to sound like this sour pants that's making excuses. Do you know what I mean? But,
well, no, you beat him in round 1 in your first meeting, didn't you? So so did you maybe take him a little bit easy on second time? Or
no, 100% didn't take him easy. I never ever took him easy. I maybe went in there with a little bit of a wrong mentality. Do you know what I mean? Like I was so confident in my defense that I knew in my head, because it was a 5-round fight, the second fight, he refused to fight me for 5 rounds in the first fight, so it was a super fight.
Right.
So the second fight was 5 rounds, and I had so much confidence in my defense. I was like, don't get knocked out, take over in the later rounds. That was my thought process. But yeah, he caught me.
What do you think your engine would get him at end?
Yeah, I thought my engine would get him at end, and he caught me early, and fair play to him. And then the third fight, I've never felt my arms or anything gas like that. That was my first fight back from surgery.
Just from surgery.
And everything just blew up. Like not, obviously I was tired, but like not like tired like I've just explained in the deceased fight, but like it was like burning, like a muscle burn tired, not like a lung tired.
Do you think you came back too early, or it was just ill preparation?
Oh, I definitely want ill preparation. It was just too early. Yeah. So that was like 9 months post surgery. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's early.
Yeah,
that's really early, isn't it?
Yeah,
Jesus
very
Christ!
early, yeah.
Did you go across to Florida for that?
Yeah. I went to Florida January 2023, and I didn't wrestle till March 2023
Because you can't, obviously.
because I was still doing rehab in America. So I started wrestling March 2023. I fought Mohamed Khalid off June 2023. So
you know,
it was really short window, and I don't regret any of it because it was a massive opportunity, massive organisation, and massive chance. And I didn't think that I didn't think what happened had happened. So.
This is the bit the fans don't see, though, do they?
Yeah.
Just look at record. Oh yeah, you lost it, but nobody knows really, do they?
Yeah,
It's all us going into it.
Yeah, if somebody's just going back on a radio, just going back onto Wikipedia or whatever, and looking at wrestling.
Fans look too much into. Oh yeah, but he lost that one. Yeah, well, you don't know what ins and outs.
Yeah.
Of it.
I mean, you can sort of see distance in time between fights. You can make
I
your
do understand what you're saying, but Mohamed Khalid, the first time I beat him, might have had stuff going off himself. Do you know what I mean? Like you never know that. Like. The best man won on the night. It's as simple as that. I said that the first time I beat him. I mean, and just because you beat somebody, it doesn't mean you're better than him. It means you're better than him on that day, on that night. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But you know, you had such a kind of rivalry, if you will, and then you, obviously KSW saw the potential in you two fighting, so they put 3 fights, which is a lot for in any organization. 3 fights is a lot in any organization. And then because of 2 losses, they cut you. So it's a bit strange. That is it because why they thought you're gonna clear out the rest of the division, or because he's gonna obviously retire. He's 42, isn't it? It's time for him to go. So you're then the next man, obviously.
What do they say? Do they say that
Matilda's obviously ready for retiring as well. He's on his last leg sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So like they're the 2 stars. Do you know what I mean? I had 2 fights with one and 3 fights with the other. Do you know what I mean?
So my question is, what they didn't wanted an English guy as a champion or what? You got to ask that question, isn't it?
My honest opinion, and I could be totally wrong, but it's just my opinion. So I were angry that I was having to rematch Mohamed the second time because I'd already rematched Matilda. So it's like I've got to beat everybody twice. Do you know what I mean? So I
prove yourself. Yeah,
I was angry about that, and I went into the build up. It sold the fight well, obviously because it was pay per view, and it sold the fight well. But I probably went a little bit too deep on Mohamed, who was really good friends with Cavill, and Martin, and maybe that was something to do with it. I might be wrong, but I called him out because he was hitting the pads during training, and then he just went like and snotted on the mat, and I called him a dirty bastard for it.
You called him well,
right? The fucking soul, man. It's a dirty bastard move.
Somebody else has to roll on it, you know.
I'm like, would you like your kids training there when people are spitting on the mat? You know what I mean? I said he's dirty. I was shocked. He posted that on his own social media. Do you know what I mean? And
especially at that time as well. Like,
exactly. Yeah. So
no conspiracies, Chris.
Put Matt down.
Maybe I should have just. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Like I'm only speculating on.
Well, that would be a pretty pitful thing to cancel you for kind of thing.
This is another thing. Like Mohamed acts all this nice guy. Maybe it's just I don't understand his personality. Do you know what I mean? But I just didn't get that feel of him. Do you know what I mean? And I truly believe that's why I beat him the first time, because he tries to play these mind games, and I was like, "Fuck you!" I wasn't playing down to that. Do you know what I mean? Like for example, the first time we squared off, were in London at KSW 50 maybe. So we squared off, and I said something to him, and he says, "I don't understand English." So that way, I never said another thing. But I was thinking to myself, "I'm sure he understands English. I'm sure he does." But I just left it. And then, so just before we walked out for our fight for the ceremonial weigh-ins, so he had a crowd around him, his team, and he came saying something to me, and I'm like, it was a different language, and I didn't have a clue what he was saying, but I didn't think it was Polish, and somebody who understood Italian is saying, "Don't you understand Italian?" And I was like, fucking basically because of the crowd and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But then he acts all this nice guy. As soon as you go out on stage, he's acting this nice guy, shaking hands and all this. And I leaned forward to say something to him as we squared off, and he put his ear like that. I went, "Thought you don't understand fucking English," and I just pushed him away. and like I said, maybe it's just it's just building a fight, you know what I mean? But I truly believe that's the reason that I beat him the first time, because I didn't play into his games. Like I remember
He ended up winding up himself because he couldn't get under your skin. It was getting under his sort of thing. Yeah.
Because I remember when Luke Barnett fought him, we were having like selfies took with him and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like I remember like there was a selfie like this, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that, mate.
Yeah.
No way.
I was going to actually ask you about Luke Barnett. You had a bit of trouble with him, didn't you?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was trouble.
Not
Like,
back and forth.
Yeah. We had a lot of back and forth. 100%. Yeah. That was one of my favourite wins. You know what I mean? Yeah, that
Crashing
was
Twitter.
A few years that.
So, me and Luke Barnett. So, somebody tweeted. This was back in like 2012 or something. Scott Askham versus Luke Barnett. I think I was 3-0 and he was 4-0. Be a great fight. I seen it and I just ignored it. I thought we're both prospects. Like we gain nothing out of fighting each other right now. Do you know what I mean? Like
Surely in 2012 on Twitter, he was tweeting it to about 4 people.
that's another reason I ignored it. You know what I mean? Because what's the point?
What the fuck's a Twitter?
So, but he retweeted it. Scott wouldn't last a round. So I'm like, motherfucker. You know what I mean? But again, I ignored it because I thought, I'm not getting into back and forth so a promoter can sell a fight. That's not worth happening, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I do believe I had a good team around me, like, that built me the right amount of fights to get me to where they got to. Anyway, a few months later or whatever, Luke got signed to Ultimate Fighter. He ended up being the #1 pick for the Ultimate Fighter. He went on to do well. He went on to go, I think he went 3-0 in UFC.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was chasing him, do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking...
Did you get on Twitter then?
No, so I'm chasing. I got to 12-0. I beat Max Nunes, and I called out Luke Barnett in ring while he was still in UFC, and he sent me a message saying like, well done, and this and other, like, don't think you should fight each other. I felt, again, like, now I've grown up and understand it all more. I felt at the time like you were trying to avoid me. Do you know what I mean? But I do actually agree with what he's saying now. Like, we're both English, we don't need to fight each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need to build each other up. Do you know what I mean? But at the time, I was like, oh, he's trying to fucking avoid me. Do you know what I mean? This and that. Anyway, so he got cut from UFC a few years later or whatever. And then before I even got cut from UFC, I lost my last fight. I probably was going to get cut, but he tweeted that he wanted to fight me. Do you know what I mean? So that started the rivalry back up, sort of thing. And yeah, he picked on my spelling and that. So picked on me grammar. So
He was talking a lot of shit. I'll admit.
One of them grammar ones.
Do you know that reporter? She kind of.
Well, he's going to get it this close.
I swear down, like,
Apostrophe this, you wank.
yeah. So I was blue corner as well because he'd had more fights on ACB, but I sold fucking shitload of tickets, so I was like, I should be fucking red corner. So I'm in cage before him, and he's walking out. Honestly, I swear, like, when he walked in that cage, I wanted to hit him right then. We've talked since, and only after the fight, I ain't ever seen him after the other times. Do you know what I mean? But I do actually like Luke. There was a time when we talked at a BAMMA event, and yeah, I do.
Well,
Like, it was a rivalry, but like, it's not a rivalry.
Plus, he works with Oktagon now, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, it does
Yeah,
relate.
It does, yeah. Like I said, I do actually like him. I would like to sit down and have a talk with him and that. And
Probably get a chance, won't you, over the next few months? I would have thought.
Yeah, I would have thought so,
Yeah.
mate. Yeah.
Was that in Sheffield? That
That was in Sheffield, yeah.
Will that fight at night as well?
Yeah, fight at night, yeah.
Well, that's best way though, isn't it? You get under each other's skin. I know it's not solely to sell a fight, but it also motivates you for the fight, doesn't it? And then once that's over, you give it a clean slate, move on, buy each other a drink or whatever. And I suppose that's best way, isn't it? You don't need it to carry on.
100%,
Really, do you?
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
show that respect at end, like. Unless you're going for a rematch or a trilogy, and then you've got to keep them ticket sales coming.
You know, after 3 fights with the same guy, but you're just fed up though, aren't you? I bet, do you feel like that a bit? Like,
Unless you're Moreno and Figueiredo, then you have about 12.
don't you look at it like that? Or does it depend on how each fight goes? Or
Well,
you know, we all training camps that go into it. If it's like an 8 or 10 week training camp, then it's a fight, and then it's a rest, then back in.
yeah.
So it's like a couple of years, isn't it? You know what I mean? Or a year and a
I
half.
get what you're saying.
How longer were you
Yeah.
with
So
injury?
the old time I was in KSW, like 2018 to 2023, I had 3 opponents. You know what I mean? Like, I only had three opponents the whole time I was there, but I wouldn't say it's draining. You know what I mean? I think the circumstances were draining more than anything. Like, obviously, like the timing for the second one, and and the situation.
third
for the
one,
first
yeah,
I
that's-
suppose
Well,
you're
it
fighting
depends.
best guys in division, aren't you? It's not like
That's it. Depends if there's any other guys in division that's worth squaring up against, isn't it? Would you rather
I
have
think,
that rematch
yeah,
with
maybe
someone?
KSW felt like there is no point putting you against anybody else because you'll win. So these are the other guys that you can actually.
I was gonna fight Pavel with a bad back. Like, I honestly, I was actually going to Poland to put a case to be sorting it out and having injections in my back, and then I got back and I got the letter of surgery. So I think it goes A, B, C, like for seriousness, and they put me in the B or C category. Do you know what I mean? So they were saying it could be up to 3 years for surgery because of COVID and everything. So I rang my manager and like, I'll just fucking fight him with a bad back. You know what I mean? But then I didn't know that you could. So my doctor was really good actually. So I rang my doctor, and you can ask your doctor to send them a letter to up the seriousness, and that happened. Luckily, the fight never got announced or anything. It did get verbally agreed sort of thing, but it never got announced. You know what I mean? So I didn't pull out of it as such. But yeah, maybe that left a bad taste in the mouth as well. I don't know, but I literally we're gonna fight him with a bad back. You know what I mean? Like I think.
I mean, just you
It's
fight,
probably
right?
better that you didn't.
Yeah, it's obviously.
You're in two minds as well with money, with finances of it all and everything. It's like you've got to take your chance. Like
Well,
you were saying
this
before.
is it. You know what I mean? Like it was like, do I wait or do I just roll dice sort of thing? You know what I mean? That was the thing. But then you look at Pavel as a person, as an athlete and everything. Like he don't bring to the table what KSW want to bring him to the table. That they don't want him as champion. You know what I mean? And this is why. Again, Damien, I do actually like Damien. Nice guy, good guy. Getting a lot of opportunities because of the fans. Because of the Polish fans that are getting behind him, and he's got a lot of support, and people want to see him be champion. If he didn't have that, he wouldn't get them opportunities. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? Like I am a little bit jealous of that in a way, if that makes sense, because he's at a certain age in his career where he's still getting fights that are favourite. Even Materla, they're still getting fights because people want to see him fight. Do you know what I mean?
Because it's interesting.
Because of the fans. Do you know what I mean?
But you had a following in Poland as well, didn't you? You had a good time in Poland. You met fans and everything.
Yeah, like honestly, still now to this day, like Polish fans are really good. Do you know what I mean? Like I've got a lot of respect for the Polish fans. Like Emsworth Water Park, where I'm from, like only people that stop me for a picture is Polish people. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, like I say, the culture's different. Do you know what I mean? Like people from England might say hello, or they might be too nervous to ask for a photo or what, or they might even be too scared of the friend going, "Oh, you fucking knobhead, wanting a picture? Who's that you wanting a picture with?" Because that's British culture. You know what I mean, it's like it is just different. Do you know what I mean?
It is. We know a bit about ourselves. Both me and Chris have got had Polish partners. I was married to a Polish girl for 17 years. Chris has got a Polish partner still now, so we frequent over there quite a lot ourselves.
Where is my girlfriend from?
Oh yeah, you're both from Poland as well. Yeah. Jesus Christ!
I was thinking he's sleeping on it or what? Yeah.
Apologise, Caroline. I was thinking she was Lithuanian. Like, so all three of us.
She's his Lass's cousin.
Oh, yeah.
How does that
she
work?
can fuck off and all.
So yeah, we've got a lot to do with it over there, and they are passionate about the fight sports in particular. And stuff
100%,
like that, and it is a great organisation, like you say.
I'll be honest, I used to watch KSW with Carolina. We used to do it, when it used to be on. It wasn't that easy to watch it here. We used to watch it through a phone, what we did. One thing I liked, I think that's why KSW blew up so much. They never took piss with pay-per-views. So they asked, I think it was €7.
Yeah, it's 10 PLN, isn't it?
Reasonable
Yeah,
prices.
so I think if you're in UK, it's more. So I think it cost like €7. So what's that, like 30 zloty, whatever?
Last Octagon were about
So
10,
it's
10
not
or
a
12
lot,
as
isn't
well.
it? Like,
About a 10 of that Octagon one pay-per-view were about
so
10.
anybody will pay that to watch.
Yeah, when it's
Rather
good quality.
than,
And, like you say, we got ceremony and stuff at the door.
Yeah.
They put on a show, don't they?
Did you bump into Big Phil DeFries over there? Then?
Yeah, of course he
I love him over there.
He's
He's always over there, isn't he? When he's not fighting.
He's quality Phil. Phil is one of them guys that you can't not like. You know what I mean? Like, he's a proper likable guy. Yeah, he's a top guy, man. Yeah.
He's been champ for a long time, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's broke all the records, hasn't he? They literally
Years,
they can't
3 or
find
4 years, I think, isn't it?
longer.
Is it
no,
longer,
it's
yeah?
more like 6.
Is it?
Fucking hell.
All right.
So he's in right gym
It's
though,
definitely
isn't he?
5.
Yeah,
It's definitely 5.
he's over with Aspinall, isn't he? And
Yeah.
Mick Parkin and them guys.
They've got a good heavyweight setup. Up
Yeah.
there, definitely.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, because 2 of them in UFC. One is the interim champion, another one is up and comer.
Yeah.
Mick Parkin,
They've
is
got
he?
others as well.
Is he the
I think
longest?
Mick Parkin's got longest winning
Streak in
heavyweight division, hasn't he?
Yeah,
something like
One of
that,
his last
yeah.
four.
He's got
Who is-
knockout bonus in his last
Yeah.
one as well.
We were surprised that didn't get him in
100 grand, wasn't
rankings.
it?
Oh, is that right? Yeah, 100 grand,
We're
yeah.
surprised it didn't get him in rankings. We would have expected him if he won his next fight, he'd have got him in top 15, but he didn't
No,
make
he
it,
didn't,
did he?
yeah.
Not quite.
But good luck to him. He's on a streak, innit? Good luck to him, Mick, and get back in touch. We've got to see what him. So anyway, so before your fight with Luke Barnett, it was your UFC career at the Premier. What we say, we've waxed lyrical over these guys, KSW and at Oktagon, but the Champions League of it all is still the UFC. And what do you remember about your time at UFC? Do you remember that most fondly as your height of your career, or
No, definitely not.
on
No,
KSW when you moved on and stuff?
No, I don't think the heights of my career were UFC. I think I look back and I think, how did I get to the UFC? To be honest with you, like how skilled I am now compared to what I was when I signed to the UFC. Maybe it was a little bit too soon. I definitely don't hate on the UFC for anything. The fights that I needed to win, I lost. A lot of them were split decision. I lost 2 split decisions, so I could easily be 4-2 in the UFC instead of
Well, you don't
2
tend
and
to
4.
get stopped, do you? When you have lost, it tends to be a decision,
No.
don't it?
Yeah. Apart from Khalidov.
Yeah. Well,
Fuck him anyway, spitting on Matt's dirty
But yeah, so my time in the UFC was, if I didn't knock people out, I didn't know how to win a decision. That's the thing.
Right, okay.
I was looking to be a counter puncher. If you watch my fights in UFC
Mm-hmm.
and then you watch my first fight leaving the UFC, Luke Barnett, that was my second fight at ATT. My first fight at ATT was my last UFC fight, Brad Scott, another guy that I lost to. But still, that were the most significant strikes I'd landed in all my UFC fights. So the changes were coming and starting. I started to become more a volume striker and become more, winning more rounds. So the change was there, but I just got cut too early. And then I went on an absolute tear after I left the UFC. Luke Barnett, fight of the night. Materla, knockout of the night. Marcin Vucic, knockout of the night.
yeah, you got several of them.
Materla again, fight of the night. Should have been knockout of the night in my opinion, but they give it to Soldic. Even Soldic said that after the fight that he thought mine were better.
That a knee, that.
The flying knee,
Yeah.
and then I beat Mamed Khalidov in a super fight. You know what I mean? So
That
when you look on paper in terms of what were better, like
So you were just maturing then on back end of the UFC, really, weren't you?
Yeah.
You know what was weird? Because obviously I watched a few bits, your few interviews and stuff, and your few podcasts, and you mentioned this few times. In UFC, you always felt like you were fighting for your job, basically.
Yeah,
Whether
yeah.
it was KSW or any other division, you were just enjoying yourself, kind of thing.
Fighting not to lose, not to win.
Yeah.
That's what that is literally how I see my UFC career. It's fucking. I look back now. It's like the most stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, but
regret-
it's mentally, it's
regret
not.
that
It's
one,
not
you see
good.
it?
No, I don't regret any
Yeah,
of
you
it.
were
You know what I
learning.
mean? It's all been part of the journey, and it led me down a great path. You know what I mean? Like I definitely don't regret any of it. I did have after I beat Khalidov the first time, the first fight with Khalidov. I did have opportunities to go back to the UFC. You know what I mean? But pros and cons are both. I feel like.
Yeah, because if like you say, if you do that mentally, you don't want to feel like that mentally, don't you?
No.
You want to feel like you're going somewhere and this is a good thing for you, rather than I'm fighting for my, this is it. Or if I lose this, I'm fucking out and all my life is over.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like that, do you?
No,
you
definitely
wanna,
not. Definitely not.
So if you are feeling like that, probably better off than,
Yeah.
Just on that Brad Scott fight, mate, it was a split decision. Did you feel hard done by it all, or did you agree with split decision? Or did you feel like you should have maybe got that decision and had a chance to carry on in UFC under ATT?
At the time, I think I thought I won. He did hit my leg in the second round. He hit me with a couple of calf kicks, and I had to switch my stance to orthodox. But I still felt like I did pretty well from orthodox. I landed a lot of strikes. Again, I'm not going to... Do you know what I said to Brad Scott as soon as the fight finished? Because it was a good fight. I said, I think we both just kept his job. That was before the decision. That's literally what I said to him. Do you know what I mean? I think we both just kept his job. Like what? That is what I thought you've just said. It is absolutely mental that you're thinking like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't blame the UFC for that. That's my mentality.
It's just the competition that is fierce, isn't it? And that's what it is.
All the guys that I lost to were European. I beat a Brazilian, I beat an American, and I lost to all the European guys.
So, the question then, how come you end up in ATT then? Because obviously you're a British guy and you fight here all the time. So you fight in Europe most of the time, sorry.
I'm going to say, if you look at your UFC fights, that took you around Europe, didn't it? I've got down here, you fought in Sweden, then Berlin, then Dublin, then London, then Hamburg, then Dublin again, London again. So maybe that's why Europeans were harder, they were in their own patches, and maybe that's why South Americans were a bit more out of the comfort zone, maybe something like that. That and your talent, obviously. I'm not saying there were reasons for that.
It's really good,
Yeah. No, they were the fights that I needed to win, and that was as simple as that. I didn't, know what I mean? It's a long... What were your questions, sorry?
ATT, how come you end up in there?
Yeah, so...
because obviously it's thousands of miles away. You have to travel over for every camp.
So me and Mark DeCasey trained together for quite a while. Well, all Mark's career, to be fair. Since he started, we trained together. We moved over to a gym together. And he told... I said I was leaving that gym because it wasn't working for me.
In Doncaster?
No, it was just near Manchester, and then he rang me up. He said, "Look, I'm coming to ATT. Why don't you come?" And honestly, this was saying about like how mature that was. Like I didn't even think I wanted to go because like I didn't even know if I could look after myself. Do you know what I mean? Like I know it sounds pathetic. You know what I mean? But I look back now, it is pathetic, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? And I thought about it for a long while, and then we both went out. And the rest is history. Do you know what I mean? I did actually lose my, like I said, I was there for 10 weeks, and I lost my first fight there. But I remember Mark saying, all we have to do is win. Like, because ATT is such a big gym, like, imagine how many people go to that gym and then never go back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Quite so many. So to get the coach's attention is like pretty hard. You know what I mean? Because they want to look after their guys, sort of thing. And I can remember Mark saying, all we've got to do is win his fights, and then everything will be different. Mark won his fight in a spectacular fashion, but I lost. But I still felt that the next time I went back, do you know what I mean? It was totally different the next time I went back. I really connected with Steve Bruno, who I pride a lot of my success on, and then it just kept on going up and up and up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From there.
But improvements vast then when you started training over
there.
Yeah,
massive. Yeah. Like I said, I know how to win rounds. That's what it was. Like if I wasn't knocking guys out, I could still win rounds. You know what I mean? Like I was landing more strikes. I wasn't just looking to knock someone out, because like for example, say I'm looking to knock somebody out, it's not really a combination. It's like more a one shot. Do you know what I mean? So the volume's not. Yeah. Like a sniper instead of having the volume. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose that leans into what we touched on earlier about your style. Now I suppose that you do you shut them down and that's probably what you've learned, how to shut down them rounds and how to win them rounds, and that you smother them, that you keep going forward and trying to take away their weapon, let them exhaust themselves first, and then you get them wins in rounds, don't you? Can we touch on what one of your successful nights in UFC was? Which looks like probably one of the biggest nights that you had. so far. And then London, then Michael Bisping and Anderson Silva.
Oh yeah,
Fighting
yeah,
that 80
yeah.
foot. I can't imagine.
You
how
got a
mad
performance at night bonus for that
Yeah,
night as well,
knock-
didn't you? Beating Chris Dempsey.
Knockout of the night. Yeah.
Knockout at night, yeah. I mean, I bet that was a good night, wasn't it?
So again, like that 50k bonus is like a fucking mind fuck itself. Do you know what I mean? So my first UFC win, the fight card finished, and I thought, I've got knockout night bonus here. Mine's best knockout, 100%. I've got it. And so back then, the press conference used to be like everybody in one. Do you know what I mean? Like it didn't used to be like just
across.
like they used to have everybody in the press conference. And my coach said, if they tell you to stay back for, because it was in Germany, if they tell you to stay back for press conference, you've got it. So this fighter, Scott Askham, stay back for press conference. You know what I mean? I thought, fucking hell, I've got it. One of UFC guys who like they don't really like walk past, like he like rubbed my shoulder like that, like give me a look. I thought I text my wife and that I fucking got bonus. I've got fucking bonus, right? Anyway, everybody left. Everybody who were there were just for press conference. Then about 5 minutes came by and he comes back and he goes, sorry mate, change your plan, you can get off back to hotel. Like, you fucking what?
Did you strangle him?
What? I went, better change the plan. And they actually, I think it was Makwan Americani, they actually tweeted that he'd got the bonus and they didn't give him it. So the kid, it must have been me and Makwan, I'm sure it was, the bonus, but then they changed it. And so Jessica Penne got fight of the night bonus for with Joanna Jędrzejczyk. So that Jessica Penne just took a beating for 4 rounds. Basically, they got 50k for taking a beating for 4 rounds. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that was then like that. It ruined my UFC win in a way. You know what I mean? Because I thought I got 50k, and then anyway, so on to London. Obviously, watching the fights round the back, and I can remember a place called the Green Room, so where you watch the fights and that. And Brad Pickett had just had an amazing fight, definitely fight at night so far, and I had best knockout so far. I thought. And obviously Anderson Silva versus Bisping sets off, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What we're going through your head there?
We're watching it. I could see Brad like going deeper and deeper into his chair. I think he's fucking lost it. Then
That was some fucking fight. Like.
Then Anderson Silva landed that flying knee end of third round, and I'm like, oh no way, I've just lost 50 grand. You know what I mean? I fucking I thought I just lost 50 grand, and then he's like, no, it's not ending fight. I'm like, yes. As you
you were louder than crowd in there.
Well, Silver thought that had won it fucking fight.
Yeah. He celebrated on top.
Exactly. It was the weirdest feeling ever. Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, the actual knockout. Again, going back to what I've spoke about previously, it wasn't an exciting feeling when I knocked him out. Do you know what I mean? It was more like a relief. Do you know what I mean? It like literally like soon as I knocked him out, like. Thank fuck that's over with, you know what I mean?
Over and done with,
yeah. I look back.
I can't imagine what that pressure's like fighting for your job like that.
Yeah.
I know it's part of the game, isn't it? But
I believe now that I was putting that pressure on my son more than anything, you know what I mean? Instead of just getting on with it, I was putting that pressure on
me. You're overthinking.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I guess in the way you're supposed to anyway, because how else are you going to get anyway, isn't it? If you put pressure on yourself, you work harder, so you become better. It's just a natural thing.
Yeah. But also, when I was in the UFC, like I've got no shame in saying it. Like I used to watch them top guys and think, I can't fucking beat them. I know I wasn't good enough. Do you know what I mean? But then when I went on that tear, when I left the UFC, and I was looking at them guys in that top 10,
you'd love to. That'd have been your time to go back now.
Yeah, I was thinking, I fucking can. I'm up there with them. Do you know what I mean? And
is that a trail of thought on your proposed fight with Anthony Smith as well, considering what he went on to do? I know you had to pull out of that, didn't you? That would have been a good name on your resume,
100%.
Did he start off at middleweight, Anthony Smith?
Yeah, middleweight. Yeah.
They were scheduled to fight, weren't you? And then
we were scheduled to fight. That again. That was visa problems. That's the reason that fight didn't happen. Yeah, he went on a tear. at the time, obviously I thought I could beat him. Do you know what I mean? But looking back, that would have been a tough fight for me at that time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now, obviously, when I went on a run, I would have thought totally different. Do you know what I mean? But
that's it. When you're feeling good, when you go on some kind of run like you say, you keep getting knockout at night, fight at
yeah,
night,
but
then you're winning belts
4
and
or 5 on
tournaments and
bounce,
stuff like that.
It is-
You're gonna feel king of fucking world, aren't you, man? You know what I mean? It's hard to take on anybody.
Definitely, yeah. Because like I went on a 5-fight win streak, and I felt like I could beat anybody. Do you know what I mean? Like when you see like people like John Jones and GSP, the runs they went on. You know what I mean? I can't even imagine what they feel like. Do you know what I mean? But a lot of that confidence comes with who I was training with as well. Do you know what I mean? Like because I'm training with best guys in the world regularly. Do you know what I mean? And I know the outcome.
Yeah.
So I know I'm in that mix. You know what I mean? I know I'm not below them. I'm right there with them. You know what I mean?
You can see it on Matt then as well, can't you? Day in, day out, grinding.
100%. And ATT just changed my vision and my belief.
What kind of guys were there then? Or when you first walked through the door, were you like a bit, not starstruck, but were you like...
Thinking, right, I'm in this company, I need to turn up.
So the first week I got to ATT, Robbie Lawler was still at ATT.
Fucking hell.
So I get to ATT. The week I get there, it got announced that Robbie Lawler left ATT. I'm like, you fucking joke. I'm like Southpaw killer. You know what I mean? I've always looked up to him. I'm like,
striker.
Anyway,
as well,
striker. Everything about him. And anyway, I got invited to a barbecue. It was Steve Mocco's barbecue, the wrestling coach, and goes to barbecue, and Robbie Lawler were there. You know what I mean? As soon as I saw him, I'm like, fuck yeah, Robbie Lawler's there. You know what I mean? That is one of the few times I've been starstruck. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot.
No, you'd definitely be starstruck around him, wouldn't you?
Big time,
Jesus.
yeah. And the one thing that got me the most, like it was the most polite, humble guy ever. Do you know what I mean? And then just as we're walking out, when nobody's there, he were cleaning up the dishes. Do you know what I mean? Like that just shows the type of person he is. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not for an act or for anything else. Do you know what I mean?
I thought you were going to say like through a rocket back there.
smashing windows round back.
Right, nice guy. Then I'm fucking hit me on back head with a frisbee. The cunt.
What going like that? I've got my eye on you.
That's just me, fucking tall guy. We're just there washing up. What a lovely fella.
But yeah, when people ask me about ATT and like, oh, you train with that, like I could name off like 10 guys that you probably won't even have heard of. Do you know what I mean? But they are still stars or stars in the making. Do you know what I mean? Like for example, Johnny Emblem. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously he's a star now. But like he was one of my main training partners for 2 to 3 years before COVID, and I've done round after round after round with him, and obviously look where he is now. He's like undefeated world champion. You know what I mean? And then there's another guy called Asmat. He's like I don't know if he's just signed to UFC or he's near enough there. Do you know what I mean? Like they've got so many good guys. Obviously, I've trained with the good guys as well. I've trained with Dustin. I trained with Colby when he was there. I've trained with Junior DeSantos many a times. Junior DeSantos is like just an absolute character. Do you know what I mean? He's like
great lad.
Yeah, he's funny. He's funny as hell. Yeah, he loves to sing and shit like that.
Do you still follow UFC with interest now? Because we kind of split with fighters that we have on here. Some don't have time for it, or they want to, when they're not training themselves, they want a break, so they don't really watch it. But some are still deeply involved as fans. I
follow it more on Instagram than watching the fights. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like
keep up with results rather than minute by minute sort of thing.
Same with football, really. Like just it's more like a champ man phase. Like just watch who's winning.
Fair enough. I mean, there's that much content out there from all over sites. You can sort of follow it, can't you? Even if you're not staying up fucking 3 or 6, even when it's in this country.
No,
I would
let's be fair. That it is a commitment, isn't it?
Big time.
It's like it's you know,
it is.
It starts at 1, finishes 6, 7, and you just after all Saturday day, whatever you did, and then.
That's another reason why these European promotions are absolutely booming.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we've got some good fighters in there. What do you reckon to Tom Aspinall and his chances of fighting John Jones? Do you think that'll happen, or do you think?
I hope it happens.
I do as well.
I definitely hope it happens, whether it will or not. I think Tom's doing a good job of getting under Jones' skin.
I think it seems like he's just thought fuck it now, and he's just gone for him.
Yeah, I just seen a video over here.
When he's looking for him at Rungreen, John.
I
saw it as well earlier. So he's saying you've got to get him in a room first. He's going, John, are you in this room?
He's definitely doing the right things. But what Tom says about John's never said his name, he'll never say his fight, and I like John's persona, me. You know what I mean? Like when Tom put his hand off him, he took his hand off him. But like, he knows how to build a fight. You know what I mean? He just does. And he also he started to talk about Alex Pereira, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's like. Fight Stipe Miocic, and then what about fighting Alex Pereira? You know what I mean? He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Personally, I think he'd prefer to fight Pereira.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think Pereira stands a chance against either of them.
But I also think this is my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but rightly so, and he does deserve it. He can pick and choose who he wants to fight.
Yeah.
Right? And he's in that position for the warriors that he's fought over the years. Do you know what I mean? Not years and years and years.
While I agree with that. While I agree, but do you think it's a little bit cheeky that it's while he's an heavyweight now? Because he's only had one heavyweight fight. Yeah. Fair enough if you're calling everybody out in light heavyweight that he's fucking dominated. But in heavyweight, he's had one fight.
I'm not denying nothing's been cheeky, and I'm not denying that Tom deserves the spot. But the shithousery that what he's doing, you've also got to like that a little bit. That makes sense. You know what I mean?
I think
giving him cold shoulder, really. Isn't
it? It's like.
I think
like chase me, bitch.
I think where John Jones stands as well. If you remember the early days after Cyril Gane, it kind of I said this few times now. If you watch all the fighters through the years. Immediately, if they start mentioning the retirement or they're thinking about it, the next fight is the last fight usually 9 out of 10 times, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he said that. Yeah, he was mentioning retirement. I don't know how much I've got left in me. I want to see kids grow. I want to be able to speak to them rather than being, spasticated and all this. So he goes, I'm really looking after myself now.
Why does him fight well?
Yeah, so that's what he was saying. So he goes, yeah, I'm gonna fight Stipe and then I'll see what's next. Kinda, he was saying, I'm done.
You think
and
he's
then
retired,
this new kid from the block, from not even block, England, comes out and he's like, hey mate, you're gonna fight me or not?
Is it Aussie, Rich?
It sounded a bit Aussie.
That was Volk. What's it? Like Volk or not?
I've got a bit of a twang, so
Sorry, Rich.
That's all right.
What would you say highlight of your career is then? You've had, to go from fighting in Barnsley in front of a few hundred to 30 or 40,000.
I've probably said knocking out Matilda. No, that's definitely highlight of my career. Yeah.
The KSW debut, that one.
No, the second one.
The second fight.
The second one, yeah. So I brought my hand in the third round. I had surgery 2 days later because I was celebrating.
But you need to go under, did you?
That's some wank, that, mate.
So May 18th, 2019, it was my daughter's birthday. So my family were in the caravan at the seaside, and obviously I was fighting. So I brought my hand in the third round. Luckily, I got the finish in the third round as well. I just think everything about that fight and performance were definitely up there.
One night when you were pitch perfect, kind of thing.
Not pitch perfect, but I showed that bit of grit as well, and I showed that.
It all came together then.
Yeah. You could argue that I was two rounds down. So he took me down in the first round. I was going for a lot of submissions, landed elbows off the bottom, but he had the top control, so probably lost that round. I battered him in the second round, but the minute left, he hits me with an overhand, knocks me down, hits me with a few strikes. I still think I won that round, but you could argue that he finished the round on top, you know what I mean?
More significant kind of end of the round,
Yeah. But so at the end of the first round, he helped me up off the floor. Like, at the end of the second round, he didn't help me up off the floor. It's weird that you think mid-fight, you think things like that. Like, I thought, I fucking got you now. You know what I mean? Like, just for that, you know what I mean? I thought like mid-fight, I thought, you're not helping me up off the floor now, are you? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy that you're thinking shit like that. Like, yeah.
Well, GSP said when he was thinking about somebody's last, saw it in a crowd, didn't he? JSP was fighting somebody. I can't remember who he said he was fighting. I saw this last, and he's like, "Oh, you're pretty."
Well, then Matt Serra knocked him out.
And then obviously the third round, I brought my hand away, but managed to get the. I knew we were done. Like, even though he made it to the third round, I knew we were done. Like, I could just. I felt
Feel
I felt the tide had changed. I mean, I know he'd spent everything in them 2
This,
rounds.
your gas tank was gone, and
And it must feel great when you've been in that camp for so long and you've envisioned all these methods of victory on what's going to come next when you beat this guy, and then you pull it off. You have a great night. Everything you've worked towards is fucking working and pulling off, and then it comes off in the end. It must feel really fucking good, to be fair. Like, you know,
100%. Yeah.
Well, we congratulate you on all them successes, mate, and wish you best of luck for Oktagon 61 against Muradov. Hopefully, it is a title eliminator for you, and you get through that, and then you get your shot at another title, pal. It would be,
Thank you,
it would be nice. We'll
Thanks.
continue to
Absolutely.
follow your career, and we wish you all the best, mate. Thank you for coming and spending some time with us, mate.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for listening. And if you'd like to like and subscribe and all that, we're all over Spotify, YouTube, all your usual places. We'd appreciate that too.
Okay.
iTunes, yeah, all of them. You'll find us. Thank you very much for listening. And see you next time. See you later.
Cheers. Bye.
The No Bones Podcast.